All right. Shalom, Israel. We live. Give brothers and sisters a chance to get in here. I know last couple classes y'all been seeing, they've been pre-recorded classes, but this class is live. This class is live now. Of course, later on, when I replay this class months from now, they gonna be like, he said it was live, but it ain't live. But today is live. Today is May 24th, 2023. Captain Soccer War here in the Memphis school. Shalom to Sister Barak Wana. Shalom to Yaraga Bar. If I can get y'all to like and share the class, let everybody know we live. We're gonna be getting started momentarily. All right. All right. Most likely, this is gonna end up being a two-part breakdown. Just knowing how much I'm gonna go into with these next couple classes. So it's gonna be today, and I'm gonna see about tomorrow. I know General Hyman should be teaching, so I'm not sure if part two will be tomorrow or if part two is going to be a little bit later on. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right, Shalom Israel. You're on live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer War holding down the class live from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes live from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. The address to the school here in Memphis is 3000 Walnut Grove Road. We're in Suite 215. Again, 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215. Classes are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You brothers and sisters out there, you got family, loved ones, people in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Since 1969, we have been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2023, there is nothing more important than for God's chosen people to learn the truth of who they are, where they come from, and what their purpose is on the earth. And so what we do with these classes is give brothers and sisters an opportunity to open up this book called the Bible so that they could gain the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that is placed therein in order to facilitate us returning back to being the people that God called us to be and reclaiming our righteous place on the planet Earth. With that said, I like to start the classes off with questions, give brothers and sisters online as well as in the room an opportunity to ask any questions they may have. There are no questions that are considered bad questions or stupid questions. And we pride ourselves here in the ISUPK of being able to provide answers. If there's an answer that I cannot provide for a particular scripture or a particular question you have, then I will refer to the men who are in a higher authority than I am to get the answers and report back to you once I have them. All right. So with that being said, if any brothers or sisters in the classroom have a question, raise your hand. If any brothers or sisters online have any questions, you can just type them in. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds, and if nobody comes forward, I'll go ahead and get ready to start the class. All right. All right. A few more seconds for any questions to come through. All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Tonight's class is titled The Most High Draws the Line. If you look at the description of the class, tonight we're going to discuss the history of infighting amongst the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel and how what is taking place or transpiring today in the Black, Latino, Native American, Indian community has always been prevalent and necessary in our nation. Going all the way back to the very beginning of the Bible, there's a recorded history of um, conflict between those who would come to serve the Lord and those who would stand on another side against those who serve the Lord. And like I said, all throughout the Bible, all throughout the different periods of our nation, we've seen the scenario play out where a line is drawn in the nation between those who would serve the Lord and those who would cause the serving of the Lord to be perverted. You understand? And it's a very prevalent topic with what's going on in the nation today, particularly in the so-called Israelite community. For those of you who may be bystanders, or those of you who may be watching on the sidelines, or who may be new to learning the truth about the Bible, maybe new to learning this understanding of what it means to be an Israelite, you may see some of what's taking place and you may be taken aback. You may say, damn, man, they supposed to be in the truth, man. Here they go fighting and banging on one another, and they talking about this side and that side, and it's just like the gangs, and it's just like the stuff I went through in the hood, and you might think it's bad. It might leave a sour taste in your mouth, but that's because you don't know the God that we serve in Israel, because you don't know the truth of this Bible. You don't know the history of your people. You don't know what your ancestors have been going through for many, many generations, and why it is that you must go through it today. So that's what this class is going to be about, the Most High drawing the line, okay? Sister Shakaya had a question in Amos 9 and 13. Is it a future prophecy or something that happened in the past? Let's go ahead and answer that question right quick. Amos chapter 9, verse 13. Let's all go to it. Okay, this is Amos chapter 9, verse 13. All right. Amos 9 and 13 says, hold up. Okay, let's first go to Amos 9 and 11. All right. Amos 9 and 11 will let us know. Actually, you could really start up higher than that. This whole chapter of Amos is a vision, right? So this is a future prophecy that was given to Amos, all right? I'm going to start at verse 8. So Amos chapter 9, verse 8 says, behold, the eyes of the Most High Power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Most High. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So what is God? What is the Most High talking about? This is a prophecy for the destruction of the sinful kingdom that is on the earth. Well, from the time of Amos until now, there has always been a sinful kingdom that has ruled on the face of the earth. So this prophecy has not been fulfilled yet. But in this prophecy, the Lord said that he was going to destroy the sinful kingdom from off the earth, but he was going to not completely destroy the house of Jacob, but that he was going to sift. Like if anybody knows how they used to do in the country, when you take corn, right? You take a bunch of corn and you put it, they used to gather corn together and put it in I don't know what they put it in, but there was a process to shuck the corn, right? They call shucking corn, where you separate the corn from the dirt and the leaves and all the other stuff that's no good for the corn. Everybody understands. When you sift corn in the sieve, what you're doing is you're getting rid of all the stuff you don't want, but you're keeping the corn. Everybody understands. The Lord said that he was going to sift these other nations for Israel. Meaning we're amongst these other nations, but he's going to come through. He's going to shake these nations up. And the only thing that's going to rise or be revealed in the end is who Israel is. Everybody understands? And he's not going to let the least grain fall upon the earth. Meaning if you meant to be gathered by the Lord, ain't nothing going to stop you from being gathered. Everybody understands? Verse 10, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Now, this is a warning. Even though the Lord is going to deliver Israel, even though he's going to sift us like corn is sifted in a sieve, the sinners of us are going to die. They're going to be killed with the sword, dying from gun violence, murdered in the prisons, overdosing on drugs, catching diseases and dying in hospitals and dying from sudden death that wasn't expected. All these things are going to come to the sinners of the Lord's people. You understand? Why? Because they think because they're Israel, they're not going to die. They think that being Israel means that they are that they have some type of authority or some higher class than these other people on the earth, when really being an Israelite means you're held to a higher standard, which is why we die at the fastest rates, and we die at the largest demographics from all the evils that exist on the earth that God warned us as a nation not to partake in. Everybody understands? Verse 11, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. What is the tabernacle of David? The house of David. What is the house of David? David's family, where his rulership lied. The royal family, the royal house of David. The Lord said, in that day, I'm going to raise it up and close up the breaches thereof. Meaning what? It's no longer going to be destroyed. The walls are no longer going to be falling down. I'm going to build up the house of David big and strong and mighty. Everybody understands? And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. What was David's tabernacle in the days of old? David's house was strong. David's house was mighty. David's house was respected. The authority of the rulership of Israel had no opposition, had no one coming up against it, because David was a man of war after the Lord's own heart and would kill you if you spoke evil against him or came up against him the wrong way. Everybody understands? So the Lord said he's going to raise up the house of David the way it was back in the day. Verse 12, that they may possess the remnant of Edom. Why is the house of David being risen up? So that they can go and possess those who are left of Edom. What does that mean? As these nations are destroyed, as the Lord destroys the sinful kingdom off the face of the earth, there's going to be some of the house of Edom, some Edomites that escape, that are surviving, that are living somewhere. And the Lord is going to raise up the house of David so that they could, on this side, sis, so that they could come and destroy and possess Esau or Edom. Everybody understands? And of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Most High that does this. So not only is Edom going to be possessed, but so will all the other heathens that are called by the Most High's name. Everybody understands? What does it mean to be called by the Most High's name? The Bible speaks of Edom, but what does it mean for these other heathens to be called by the Most High's name? Somebody online or somebody in the class, real quick for time's sake. Sis.
Is it like they following us? So they following after some of the other heathens, the other nations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean like they're going to be following under our laws and our commandments?
No. Okay. No. All Sister Shakaya said to be under his authority. No. That's why I asked the question. These are heathens that he's named. He's named them. You understand? He named Edom, right? Okay. What do they call themselves today? Okay. They call themselves a bunch of shit that's not Edom. Excuse my language. The East Indians today. What do they call themselves? They call themselves Indians and Pakistanis, but that's not their names. They're Elam. The Chinese call them Chinese and Koreans and Indonesian and the Japanese. They's Moab and Ammon. In that day, those heathens that are called by the Most High's name are going to be possessed. We ain't gonna possess the Chinese and the Japanese. We're gonna possess Elam and Moab and Ammon. We're gonna possess Edom. We ain't gonna possess Germany and Russia and the Italians. We're gonna possess the Edomites. You understand? All the heathens that are called by the Most High's name. Everybody understands? Now we're getting into the sister's question, which is verse 13 and 14. Amos 9 and 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. What is that talking about? What does it mean that the plowman shall overtake the reaper? What is the relationship of a plowman in the field to a reaper? Sister Shawba.
Is it the worker and the owner of the area?
That is what it is. The plowman is the one in the field doing the work. The reaper is the one that benefits from the work that's being done. Everybody understands? The plowman is the man putting in the hard work. The reaper is the one who benefits. Of course, in today's society, we know about the 1%. We know about the bonuses and the extra absorbent amounts of money these CEOs and these owners of these companies get when the workers are getting pennies on the dollar. Well, in that day, those who are actually doing the work, they're going to overtake those who are just sitting back getting all the money. Everybody understands? And the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed. Who is the treader of grapes? What does that person do? Sis. He's stepping on grapes. I know a lot of people, y'all like that wine. But you got to know that there's some old grandmother over there in Italy somewhere with her feet, butt naked toes on them grapes. You think it's 2023, them toes ain't butt naked. Them toes is butt naked on your grapes. All the foot and toe grease, it's that you drinking it down. What y'all like to drink? What's that? What's those drinks? Y'all like that Taylor Port or that? Sister said, ugh. Y'all like that? What's the one that I've been hearing about lately? San Antonio, Stella Rosa, Pinot Grigio. Why y'all think it's called barefoot wine? Y'all think it's called barefoot for no reason. Don't y'all know that's because them toes was in them grapes. The sister Shakaya says Chateau Michel. I ain't never even heard of that one. Toes is all in it. You love them Chateau Michel feet. Well, one day, them people that actually stepping on the grapes, they don't get paid as much as the man who plants the seeds. The man who has the seeds to plant them, he's getting more money than the person who actually got to step on those grapes. But there's going to come a day where that is no longer so. Everybody understand? And when it says the end of the verse 13, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. What is that talking about? The mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. For time's sake, it's talking about everything that is from the top is going to trickle down to the bottom, and all the hills are going to melt. Meaning, there's not going to be any more standing in the way of the people at the bottom. Everything that is at the top, sweet wine is going to drop from there. What's dropping from the top now? Nothing. Barely anything is coming from up top down to the bottom. But there's going to come a day where all the sweet wine that is on the mountain is going to drop down to the people who are at the bottom. Sister Shakaya said the government system, that's on it. Then saying the mountains represent the government, the people at the top. There's going to come a day where from the top is going to drip sweet wine, and the hills are going to melt away, meaning everything that is stopping that wine from getting to the bottom is going to melt away. All of the corruption, all the people in the middle who are, getting rich, being corrupt without the poor getting anything, that's going to melt away. Everybody understands? Verse 14, and I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel. What does it mean to bring again the captivity of my people Israel? What is the Lord saying there? It's important we learn these old English phrases and what they actually mean in context of what these scriptures are saying. Sister Shawaba.
Is it saying like his people are going to come back to him?
Okay, no, you on it, but that's not what it's saying. Sister Kapadiza. No. One more time. Just pay attention to the exact words. I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel. I will bring again. So it's not saying here's what it's not saying. I'm gonna put them back in captivity. Right? It's not saying that. It's not saying I'm gonna bring them out of captivity. It's not saying that either. I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel. If he's bringing it again, what has happened to it? If something needs to be brought again, what has happened to it already? It went away, right? What has happened to the captivity of God's people Israel? If it's went away, what is that? If it's went away, what does that mean? What has happened to it?
Like they turned their back, so they stopped.
No. No. It was the captivity was here. It went away. Mm-hmm. But we know we still in captivity. Mm-hmm. The Lord is saying, I'm gonna bring it again. Because the captivity has went away, or I don't want to give it to you. I'm gonna give you this. Our captivity has been forgotten. It went away because we were told we're free now. We were told civil rights and the struggle and equality, and America is no longer a racist country. Barack Obama presidency and black people affirmative action. So they forgot about the captivity of Israel. Kapata's up.
So it's like he's making us remember, like why we went, like the curses and stuff.
No,
why we went.
For time's sake, this is it. They tried to erase our captivity. They tried to forget it. They tried to say it's in the past. None of us are slave masters today. We never had no slaves. The Lord is saying, I'm bringing it. I'm going to make you remember. You tried to push this issue to the side. I'm bringing it again. You tried to ignore this crime that was committed. You tried to say the statute of limitations is done because all the devils who's whipping backs is dead. Oh no, I'm bringing it again. The Lord is going to he's going to bring back up the evil that was done to his people. So to bring it again means I'm going to deal with it now. I'm going to make everybody remember. They tried to wipe it out. They tried to sweep it under the rug. I'm pulling the rug up and we're going to deal with this dirt. So to bring again the captivity of his people Israel is to deal with it now. Our captivity has not been dealt with. Our oppressors has not been dealt with for what they've done to us. They constantly, every day, they're trying to tell us, well, y'all got to forget about that. That's in the past. Reparations, no, we couldn't give you no reparations. How will we even be able to do that? How is it possible? It's too many of y'all. We don't know who blew, or whatever lies and excuses they make up. They don't want to deal with the reality that crimes have been committed and nobody has paid. God is saying, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to bring again the captivity of my people Israel. Everybody understands? And here's what happens when he brings again the captivity of Israel. And they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. Doesn't that sound like reparations? Right. All of the cities that were destroyed, we're going to build them up. All the fields that we used to work in and other people would benefit from it, now we're going to work in those fields and we're going to benefit from it. Everybody understands? The Lord is saying, I'm going to give justice to Israel. That's what this is talking about, all right? Verse 15, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith the Most High, thy power. That's reparations. The Lord is saying he's going to redeem Israel and give us what we deserve in the day when he visits this place. So for the sister Shekiah to ask the question, let me know if that gives you the answer, all right? Any other questions? Come on with it.
I know I got at least two. So if you're, I guess I could just say, so they signed me up for some career fair at work, in my slavery. Normally it's for the recruiters, but I was like, okay, yeah, because I wanted to get that recruiting experience too. And this is HR. the career fair they signed me up is a tri-state pride fair, so it's for the LGBTQ community. Would that be lawful for me to go to, or because I technically don't want to go because for one, y'all just signed me up, which is fine. But if it was any other career fair, but I don't want to be in no pictures because they can take pictures. I don't want to be in any pictures because I'm thinking about the school and it's like that's not what we stand for.
Okay, understand this when it comes to your slavery, right? Your slavery is just that. It's a slavery. Nothing you're doing as a function of your job is unlawful unless the action you're taking is unlawful. So you're just hiring LGBTQ people. You're just there to tell them about the job opportunities that's available. There's nothing wrong with that. And they're going to be in there as LGBTQ as possible looking for a job. Because at the end of the day, everybody's oppressed in this place. So you're just doing your job. Your job is whether you pick up the phone and it's a man that says, call me Sharon. You got to call that dude Sharon. That's just your job. Ain't nothing. Don't even think any deeper than that. And it's no different than if you worked in a drug rehab facility where you in there giving people methadone instead of them taking, heroin. Hell, both of them are drugs, but this drug you're giving them is at least not gonna have them doing the horrible things that the heroin would do. But goddamn, they both shooting dope. So don't think of it that way. You're just doing your job, and it's a slavery. You should hate your slavery. Your slavery should not be, yay, I'm going to slavery today. I hate my slavery. Every day I'm in that slavery, I'm reminded that there's more work to do, so I never have to do this. But until that time comes, I'm at this slavery, and I'm in there. If I knew Negro spirituals, I would sing them at my slavery. I'm in there it's a plantation where I slave at. And the Lord gave me a reprieve. He gave me about a good 8 months away from it. But now I'm back. And I'm remembering real life. I got a break from real life for a little while. Now I'm back there, slaving, tired, missing whole days. But hey, that's what we got to do. We in captivity. Everybody understand? So yeah, whatever you do with your slavery, you do with your slavery. Now, if they wanted you to, of course, do something illegal or do something unlawful, you have every right to say, no, that goes against my beliefs. But just to, tell some LGBTQ people about a job, that's just your job. All right? All right. You had another question?
I did. So I went to the dentist. I was just a personal.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the dentist and he kept saying, you grind your teeth. You grind your teeth. He told me like 3 times. Each time, like these are months apart. Since you grind your teeth, you stressing. I'm like, is it possible to be stressing and you not feel it? Because he kept telling me that. He's like, it's something that's going on. I was laid off in September, but that was September. But he keeps telling me that, like, every time I come, like, I can tell you grinding your teeth at night. And it's like the way your teeth look. Something he was saying. But he kept telling me I'm stressing, but what?
Okay, so there are different ways. Okay. Try to say this the right way. Your body responds naturally to different triggers, right? Some people bite their nails. Some people pull their hair out.
Yeah.
Some people, I don't know. I can't think of other ones, but they scratch themselves or they might itch. There's different behaviors that come from different triggers. And grinding your teeth is definitely one that comes from stressing or overthinking. You understand? Now, you grinding your teeth, you may not know. Yeah. You may not know that you're grinding your teeth, but if he's telling you you're grinding your teeth, it's because he's seeing it in your mouth. Now, how do you stop grinding your teeth? I would not know the answer to that one. What is he giving you any solutions? Is he telling you or is he just saying you gotta stop stressing so much?
Well, he did. He was like, you gotta eliminate the stress in your life, sis. And he started asking me, are you married? And I told him, yeah. And then he was like, who are you the boss at my slave? I was like, nah. Are you the boss at home? I was like, fuck no. And so he was just like, it's something that's causing stress, but I don't know what it is. That's why I was like,
I got you.
no.
Well,
I just want to know, is it possible to? Because I don't know. I don't know what I would be stressing about.
I got you. So you're saying,
lying or nothing, but
I got you. So you're saying, is it possible to be stressed out and not know you're stressed out?
yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Okay, it's subconscious, and it might not even. Okay, when we say stress, it might not be stress like how people in the world stress out.
Okay.
Because you're in the truth, you have structure,
Right.
and you have guidance, and you have, you get reassured about different things you're going through. But there may be things that subconsciously you're worried about or that are bothering you that you don't even. It's not on the surface, so you don't even know that you're bothered by it. But that could be it, and that's very possible, particularly being in the truth. I'll just be honest with y'all. When I came into the truth, I thought that I had overcome depression. I thought like depression went away.
Yeah.
When I still battled with it. It just took on a different form. The battle, because it wasn't the depression that I had in the world.
Right.
I thought that I wasn't depressed, but it wasn't until some years later I look back like I was still depressed, still doing the same motions of not progressing, not being aggressive about being better and doing more. I was kind of just complacent and just letting things be how they were. And that was the result of me just being depressed. So you could be stressing and not knowing you're stressing, but your teeth are showing that you're grinding, you grinding your teeth is showing that there's something subconsciously that you're not dealing with or addressing. What I would suggest is pray. Pray. Say the Lord's Prayer before you go to bed. Say the Lord's Prayer when you wake up. Ask the Most High to give you strength, to give you clarity, to remove whatever it is that may be stressing you out or causing you to worry that you're not even aware of. You understand? And then let it be in His hands. Big picture. So what if I'm grinding my teeth? It ain't like they about to fall out, or you know what I'm saying? I can see if it was, you gonna fall, your teeth gonna fall out. I don't even care, doc. Just fix my, do your job. Goddamn it, don't worry about me stressing. But yeah, I would suggest you praying and giving it to the Most High, and then just let Him deal with it. But if you know that there's nothing that you need to be stressed, that you're consciously stressed about, don't even sweat it. All right, all right. Anything else? Anybody else? Any questions? All right, no sweating. We're gonna go ahead and get into this topic tonight. Like I said, this might end up being a 2-part class. If I don't teach part 2 tomorrow because of General Muhammad teaching class, then it maybe on Monday, maybe a Tuesday, we'll do part 2. But tonight's class is titled "The Most High Draws the Line," and it is about the nature of the infighting that has always existed between amongst the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Go and give many examples of it in the past, and what it is that the Lord always meant to be the outcome of these various points of contention within our nation, and how what has always happened between us as a people has always been prevalent. I mean, what's happening now with us as a people is what has always been prevalent in our nation, and it is the Most High that does it. Everybody understand? With that, the first scripture we're going to get is Exodus chapter 3, Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. All right. All right. Everybody got it? Exodus chapter 15, verse 3 says, "The Most High is a man of war. Yahweh is his name." Everybody understands? The Most High is a man of war. Yahweh, which means the Most High, is his name. Everybody understands? Why is this important to know? Because we don't serve a God of love. We don't serve a God of peace. We don't serve a God of equality. We serve a God of war. Everybody understands? And how does a God of war come to resolutions? How does he solve problems? How does anything that needs to be fixed get fixed when you serve a God of war? You have to go to war. Warfare and fighting and battling it out is the only way to determine whose side the Most High is on. Now, if you don't understand the the God of the Bible, you don't understand the God of Israel, then you will see warfare and fighting, and you'll think, oh man, why can't we all just get along? Why can't we just be brothers and sisters and stand together and hold hands and be one giant unity camp? Because that's not the way the Lord gets things done. The Lord is a man of war, and anytime there's any conflict or any dispute that needs to be settled, the Lord wants it to be settled with warfare. Everybody understands? Now, is this something that I'm making up? Am I just pulling this, pulling this out of the thin air? How about we go? Who would let us know how the Lord wants things to be resolved? Who would we go to find out? Well, is it right that we do it this way? Is this what the Lord wants? There's no greater example than our King Yahushua, because he was a man who was called the Son of the Most High. Why? Because he did everything that the Most High would do. He obeyed the Most High perfectly, and the things that he spoke and said were exactly in the spirit of the Most High. All right? Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. All right? Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. It says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." These words are written in red. These are the words of Yahushua, our King. He said, I did not come to this earth to send peace. The Lord did not send me here to make everybody be at one with one another. The Lord did not send me here to gather everybody together so that we could all love one another and be one big happy family. That's not why I was sent. I came not to send peace, but a sword. What is a sword used for? A sword is used for battle. A sword is used in warfare. It is used to win and not to lose. Everybody understands? Verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the mother-in-law against her, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Why did Christ come to set these people against one another? Why did he come to cause them to be at odds? Because in being at odds, because in being fighting against one another, in being at variance with one another, the Lord can show who he's with. And showing who he's with is the Most High's joy. It is his greatest pleasure to show his power in those who serve him, in those who obey him. Everybody understands? Christ came not for peace, but a sword, so that a line could be drawn in the sand. And when a line is drawn in the sand, the Lord gets to show which side he's with. Everybody understands? Verse 36, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Your foes are going to be those of your own household. Now let's take it outside of the house, right? Let's take it into the community at large. We're all supposed to be black people, right? But amongst black people, what do we have? We have divisions in our communities. You got Muslims and Christians. You got atheists and give me some. What do people believe in nowadays? Christianity, Islam. They spiritual people, Israelites. Guess what? In the Christian community, are all the Christians together? No, there's a whole bunch. It's some different type of Christians down here in Memphis. It's something they call it Kojic. I don't know what the hell that is. Church of God in Christ Christians. I never even encountered them before. Them some whole different batch of crazy niggas. Then you got your Southern Baptists. Then you got your Methodists. It here in Memphis, Tennessee, the hospital, healthcare ain't even together. You got Baptist hospital, Methodist, something. And there's divisions. St. Francis, them is goddamn Catholics. All divisions in all these different communities. Why is it that way? Because the Lord wants them to fight, to battle it out. Everybody understands. And Israel is our communities today exist that way because the Lord wants to show who he's with. So you'll have your Christians and your Muslims and your spiritual people. And then they'll be dying and they'll be, in poverty and they'll be suffering and all the horrible things will be happening. And the Lord wants to show who he's with. Everybody understands. Take it outside of just the community, you go nationwide. You understand? As a nation of people, we're divided more than just among, beliefs. We're divided in classes. We're divided because of education. We're divided because of income. We're divided because of all types of, things that cause us to be divided. Well, these divisions aren't by accident. These divisions aren't happenstance. The Lord created these divisions because he wants to show his might and his power. Everybody understands? All right. So let's drop that. So we got to establish that the Most High is a man of war. Christ came not to bring peace, but to bring a sword, to set a man at variance with his father and a woman at variance with her mother, to pit the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law and the son-in-law against the father-in-law. Everybody understands? And Christ warned us that a man's foes would be they of his own household. Well, then why would it be any different in the Israelite community? Why would it be any different among those who claim to be servants of God, who claim to be, the Most High's chosen? Hell, if the gangbangers can't agree on whether it's red or blue, if the politicians, the educated people can't agree on whether it's Democrat or Republican, then why should it be any different with those who come to serve the Lord on who you with? Everybody understands. The Lord has always drawn lines in the sand for Israel to have to choose which side they find themselves on. And so what is taking place today with the ISUPK and these other Israelite factions is no different than what has always taken place within the nation of Israel. And we're going to show that tonight. Everybody understands. Going all the way back to the very beginning, we're going to go into the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 3. And we're going to start... No, Genesis chapter 4. And we're going to start at verse 1. Everybody understands? All right. Shekiah asks, wasn't John the Baptist against Christ? Okay, now that's John the Baptist wasn't against Christ, but they were different factions. John the Baptist was not following Christ. He had his own followers. And John the Baptist questioned Christ, which is why Christ said that John the Baptist would be least in the kingdom of heaven because he didn't believe. Everybody understands? That's another example of a line being drawn in the sand, or a line being drawn for Israel to have to choose a side. Everybody understands? How do we know that the Lord was with Yahushua and not John the Baptist? John the Baptist got his head cut off and he died in prison. Everybody understands? Now somebody might say, but they killed Yahushua. Most High wasn't with him. But that brother rose again. He came back in the spirit of the Most High in power and strength, and the men who followed him performed many miracles that could only be performed through the power of the Most High. Everybody understands? And that is how it was revealed that the Lord was with Yahushua. But let's go ahead. Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and she said, I have gotten a man from the Most High. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Most High. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Most High had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. What happened with Cain and Abel? They both brought sacrifices. The Most High accepted Abel's sacrifice, but did not accept Cain's. What did that cause? Sis, caused division. It caused conflict. It put Cain at variance against Abel. Everybody understands? That's why he was very wroth and his countenance fell. Imagine you both go to perform a duty and one of you pass and the other one gets rejected. Everybody understands. This Cain not being accepted wasn't just a small thing. It wasn't, okay, here's literally what Cain and Abel's sacrifices being accepted or not accepted was like. Cain brought the firstlings of his lambs, laid them on the altar. They burned up and cooked, and the sweet smell went before the Lord. Everybody understands. Abel put his fruit on there, and it just burned up, burnt to a crisp, and wasn't received. Everybody understands. That's how everybody knew, or how Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel knew that Abel's offering was accepted, but Cain's was rejected. Everybody understands. What must that have been like for Cain to know that his offering was rejected? It would not have been a moment where it's just like, oh, hey, I didn't get rejected. I didn't get accepted. It would have been an embarrassment and a shame to the highest order that you could not imagine. Imagine we had Passover and everybody's going up there to salute the Torah. And then one brother steps up and goes to salute the Torah and gets told, nah, not you, stop. You can't salute the Torah. Somebody escort this man out of here in front of everybody. That's what that was like. Sometimes you read the Bible and you just think, yeah, well, Cain was upset. No, Cain was embarrassed and shamed. Cain was made to be known the Lord is not with you. And for certain people, knowing the Lord is not with them is too much for them to bear. It's too much for them to be able to accept. That's why Cain was very wroth and his countenance fell. Everybody understands. Let's keep reading. Verse 6, and the Most High said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou dost well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin lies at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Everybody understands? Come on with it.
Our laws were passed down during this time, like orally. Didn't they? It's like Cain obviously was a hard-headed child, though, because it's like you know what kind of offering he's supposed to bring. So why would he be mad? I guess it was still the embarrassment or something. Like
that's the point. The point is he knew better and still did what he wanted to do. He was told by his mother and father, the only people who knew how to serve the Lord, what to do. Yet he did what he wanted to do anyway. And in doing what he wanted to do, he thought that he would still be accepted, thought that he could get by. What is someone who does what they want to do, even though they know the right thing to do? What do we know about someone like that? They know the right thing. I'm gonna do what I want to do, though. I know that there's a way it's been proved. I know there's a way it's been established before me. That's the right way of doing things. But you know what? I don't like how that gets done. I don't like the way they said that. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna tweak it here and tweak it there. I'm gonna tell everybody to wear purple. I'm gonna say a man can only have one wife. I'm gonna say if you have sex with a woman, but you don't put a wedding ring on her finger and get that marriage license, it don't even count. Even though I know what the Bible says, we're gonna do it this way. What do we know about someone like that? Sis.
like what they doing won't last, or they won't last.
Okay, we know that what they're doing won't last. We know that, there's a punishment coming for them, but what do they think? No. If we know that you're going to get punished for doing that, why would you change something the Lord set up? Don't you know you're going to be hurt for that? What does the person who's doing it anyway think? They think, I won't be hurt. Right. Why don't they think they're going to be hurt? Sis.
Because they haven't happened?
No, because they don't believe.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
They don't believe. They don't think it's real.
Mm.
They think this is here for me to use however I want to use it. But there's no real consequences or repercussions. Who's going to punish me? I'm just going to do what I want to do. That's what Cain thought. Cain thought this sacrifice shit on it. I mean, it ain't that deep, bro. It's going to bring some fruits. I know we're supposed to do the lamb, but shit, the lamb burn like the fruit burn. What's the difference? He didn't think he would be rejected. He didn't think that there was going to be evidence that the Lord was against him. He did what he wanted to do. And then the Lord punished him. And he got mad. Lord, what the hell you mad for, nigga? You know what you're supposed to do. If you do the right thing, you'll be accepted. But if you don't do the right thing, sin is waiting for you to serve him. And you're going to be his servant forever. Let's see what happened after that. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. Cain was driven to murder, which is a sin, because he refused to do right. Everybody understands? When you are someone who refuses to do right because of whatever reason, how do you feel about the people who do right? You want to hurt them. You want to be violent towards them. And that is what's taking place in the nation of Israel today. People who don't believe in God want to be violent towards those who do. But what you'll learn dealing with those who serve the Lord is you can't fight against the Most High because he can't be defeated. Everybody understands? Let's drop that. All right. So that's the first example we got, Cain and Abel. The Lord drew a line in the sand, and on one side was righteousness, which was Abel. On the other side was wickedness, which was Cain. Everybody understands? Now, let's go to hold up. Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 13. Hold up. All right, hold on. This is 1 Samuel chapter 16. We're going to go to verse 11. All right. This is 1 Samuel 16, and we're going to start at verse 10. All right. It says, again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, the Most High has not chosen these. Verse 11, and Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keeps the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch for him, for we will not sit down till he comes hither. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. And the Most High said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. So we are reading about the day that David was anointed king over Israel. And on the day that David was anointed king over Israel, the Spirit of the Most High came on to David. Everybody understands? Verse 14. But the Spirit of the Most High departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Most High troubled him. What happened on the day when the Most High anointed David to be the king over Israel? Anointing David to be king over Israel meant Saul was stripped from being the king of Israel. What did this cause for the Lord to have Samuel to go and anoint David? It caused for a line to be drawn between David, who had been anointed, and Saul, whose spirit the Lord took from him. Everybody understands? Why couldn't the Lord let David be anointed and allow Saul to keep his spirit? because the Lord wanted David and Saul to fight. The Lord sent the evil spirit on Saul. Why? So that Saul would pursue David and try to kill him and try to hold on to the kingdom. For what purpose? So that the Lord could show just how much he was with David. Everybody understands? That is the God that we serve in Israel. And it's a God of, my spirit can't be in two places at once. My spirit will not dwell on both sides of the matter. One is going to be right, and the other has to be wrong. And in order for me to prove who's right and who's wrong, they're going to fight. And in the end, when one stands victorious and the other has fallen and been defeated and scattered, everybody's going to know the Lord was with those who stood. Everybody understands? All right. Let's see something. Come on with it.
So, just like what you just said, the Most High Spirit can't be in two places at once. So, all of us, of course, in the school, we still have one spirit because we one body. Is that right? Like,
Yes.
say we say that on the corner, they like, well, people in UPK and they got, you different and you different, you different, but we still got one spirit though. Right? Is that right?
Okay, yes, we have one spirit.
Okay.
But there can also be conflicts amongst us. That's why there's councils.
Yeah, that's right.
Brothers run into situations all the time where we disagree, butt heads. No sweat, I wouldn't go to council. And you find out who the Lord is with in the council. You find out who was right and who was wrong. But you have to have a council. Because what happens if a situation doesn't go to council? If it just hangs in the air, then eventually there's going to be a fight. Council is what resolves the fight. But it still has to be determined who's a winner and who's a loser. And the test for the loser is, don't you know if you do well, you'll be accepted? But if you don't, sin lies at the door. That's the point of conflict. It's the point of battling. It's the point of warfare. To the victor goes the spoils. The winner reaps the rewards. The loser has to suffer. But does suffering mean you're destroyed? Does suffering mean you no longer exist? No, if that was the case, we wouldn't be here. We are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel who have been defeated and suffered for many, many generations. But what happens when we begin to win again? What happens when we begin to obey the Lord? When we no longer stand on the side of losing, but we choose to serve the Lord and stand on the side of the righteous, then we'll again become the winners. But as long as we are on the side of wickedness and evil, we're going to continue to lose. Everybody understands? That is the point of warfare. The Lord is only going to be with the righteous. And if he's only with the righteous, then that means the wicked have to be destroyed. The wicked have to be punished. And in their destruction and in their punishment, what can the wicked do to get back on the side of the Lord? You can repent. You can turn away from your evil. You can say, I was wrong and I should never have tried that. I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to humble myself. That's what's available right now. Somebody can repent. Somebody can say, we was wrong. Shouldn't have did that. Salakia. I'm issue a formal apology. Me, myself, not someone under me, not someone who doesn't have the authority, but me, the leader. I'm going to say, you know what? We were wrong. It's the way we could have handled that situation, and we didn't handle it that way. And it was absolutely disgraceful and disgusting. And we apologize to our brothers because we know the Lord is with them. And we were in error. But what does it take to get a man to do that when he doesn't believe? What does it take to get a man to do that when he doesn't even think God is real? He won't do it. So God has to make an example out of him. And God has been making examples out of many men for many generations who many people looked to and thought that they were someone to be admired and respected and acknowledged. Everybody understands. But if your spirit is not in line with the spirit of the Most High, then you are going to suffer and be punished. Salakia. Shalom, sir. Kanawaka, sir. All right. I am the bar. Shalom. Yes, shalom. All right. Everybody understand? So, that's always been the way that the Lord has done it. And so we saw here that the line was drawn between David and Saul. But what transpired after this line was drawn? There's a whole lot that transpired during the years that Saul remained king after David had been anointed, and the Lord wanted it to be known that he was with David. Everybody understands? Give me 1 second. Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 18 now. 1 Samuel 18. Hold up. Let me see something. All right, this is a ton of stories, but I'm gonna get this one in particular. All right, this is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 5. And this is after David had been anointed, after Saul knew that David was supposed to be the king. Saul did not pass over the throne. Rather, Saul, thinking that he was going to be slick, thinking he was going to, trick the Lord, had David brought to serve him in his house, and had David to be the man who played the guitar for him, played music for him while he was in his quarters. So think about today. We have a radio, right? Back in the day, wasn't no radio. You had to hire a nigga to play music for you. So Saul come in the crib and say, let me hear that slow motion. And David would get on that guitar. Ding, 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 ding. He played the goddamn slow motion song. Whatever music Saul wanted, he would play it. But then everybody knows what happened when Goliath came out against Israel, right? Of course, David went out and fought. David went and killed Goliath when all the men stood around and did nothing. The Lord was with David. You understand? There was a time when they went out to battle. We're going to read now. When they came back from the battle, the men who had fought were being celebrated. Let's read what took place in this celebration. This is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of all Saul's servants. And it came to pass as they came, and when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, with instruments of music. So there was a party after David and them defeated the Philistines, and the party was in Saul's honor. And all the fine, understand what the Bible's saying, all the fine women. You understand? When they say all the women came out from all the cities of Israel, that's talking about all the bad bras. All the women that would go and be at the NBA All-Star game, and be at the BET Awards, and be at the damn what's another national thing that black people love to do? The Met. No, that's not a black thing though. Give me something black. Give me something the niggas like to travel for. NBA All-Star game, the NFL Super Bowl, the Essence Fest down there in Louisiana. Ooh wee. You understand? Whatever they niggas go to do, and all the fine women be there, that's what this party in Saul's honor was. From all the cities of Israel, all the baddest and the finest of the women's was flown in. Everybody understand? They were singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, with instruments of music. Everybody understands? Verse 7, and the women answered one another as they played, as they partied and danced, and said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. So they having a party for King Saul, and they, you know what I'm saying? Imagine a party in the club, and the DJ is saying, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to paint the scenario where they all singing together, with singing back and forth Saul killed his thousands, but David killed 10,000. Like that was the song. Sis.
Like I said, I don't know where I heard it before, but I absolutely, this is way before it became the truth. I didn't even know what it was, but somebody absolutely made a song saying Saul killed 1,000, David killed 10,000. Like they really made a song out of it. That is very crazy because now I can actually picture it in the club. They
in Israel
to the beat.
We reading about a party thousands of years ago,
Yeah.
where they was praising Saul, but gave David more praise.
Right.
How you at a party for a nigga, but you bigging up the nigga his right hand man more than him? Now, if Saul was a brother, hey, I killed my thousands, David get the 10,000. I want to see my young nigga shine. But Saul knows this the nigga that's supposed to be king. This the nigga who should be ruling. Every accomplishment of David's was a stab in Saul's heart because it was further confirmation the Lord ain't with you, nigga. Everything that David did. Remember, the Bible said when David received the Spirit of the Lord left Saul. And there was an evil spirit that was left with Saul. The evil spirit is in Saul's ear. That young nigga gonna take your shit. The Lord with that young nigga. Saul killed his thousands, but David his 10,000s. All the bad finest of the bitches. It wasn't David, nigga, not you. I'm sorry, I got to bring it home. Those brothers understand what I mean. All the bad bitches is singing about David's 10,000s, but only my thousands. If you was a brother, then hey, I got my thousands, David got 10,000s. But if you not a brother, it's hatred. It's who this young nigga think he is. It's my party, bitches. Now I got to throw all the bitches out the club. Now we got to end the party, throw the hoes out, because y'all not finna big up David. But Saul can't do that because he would be exposed. So he's secretly hating, secretly mad when the Lord is doing this to Saul because he's on the wrong side. Everybody understands. And that's another thing that happens when there's conflict, when there's a battle, when there's a war. There are things that happens behind the scenes that lets you know you're losing. Right. That lets you know the Lord ain't with you. You understand? And you can't escape it. But if you're someone who doesn't believe, you'll just chalk it up to, whatever. But it's the Lord. Everybody understands. Keep reading. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 8. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And now, how did Saul, y'all got to understand, they in the club. They in the party, and the bitches is yelling, Saul killed his thousands, but David killed 10,000. And Saul's like, yo, what the fuck is this music the DJ playing? What's this song? I ain't heard this jam. Man, turn that shit off, man. Change the song. He blown in the club. He's mad. He's mad in the club. The saying displeased him. He in the club like, Saul killed his thousands. He like, yeah, fucking right. And David killed 10,000. What? And B, hold on, man. What's this music they playing? I'm gonna keep reading. And the saying displeased him, and he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? If he got the bitches, what else? The only thing left is the kingdom. And this is these niggas are so carnal, man. I love the Bible because reading the Bible, I'm just reading about niggas I know. I know both these niggas. I know David and I know Saul. And Saul's such a bitch ass weak nigga. Like you already that nigga, bro. Why can't another nigga be that nigga too? Like why can't you just let him be the nigga? You had your reign, bro. You like just pass the torch. Why you hating on the young nigga, man? Let the young nigga shine and do his thing. Like you can't do it like him anyway. Let the young nigga have it. But Saul can't let a young nigga have it. Saul is absolutely, he can't deal with the reality that there is a man that is greater than me, and he's here. God damn, Mark. So what? Let the nigga be great. Let him be amazing. Like, why him being amazing mean you not amazing? You amazing too. You just different. Niggas with carnal niggas can't handle that. They can't acknowledge that. They can't accept it. They gotta be the guy. They gotta be the man. The only one or the main one. When it's like, nah, nigga, that's not how this works. Especially if the Lord with us all, we all gonna shine. But if you mad about me shining, then that mean the Lord ain't with you. And that was absolutely Saul after David had been anointed. So let's keep reading. Verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. And Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him and was departed from Saul. Everybody understands? The Lord was with David. And every time that Saul came to go and try and kill him, David was out of the room. David had moved. You understand? Now, whether or not David knew Saul was trying to kill him is not even important. What's important is that the Lord was with David to make sure he wasn't there. David could have went and used the bathroom, could have went and got a drink of water. But the Lord was with him because of the evil that Saul was plotting. Which goes to show you what? When you on the right side of the Lord, regardless of what people are plotting or thinking they're going to do to you, they're going to fail. That's why in the ISUPK, we don't worry about the FBI or the CIA or fake Israelite groups or agents. Everybody's seen the movie Belly, right? The movie Belly, DMX was a super criminal gangster murderer killer. And the FBI, CIA sent him to infiltrate some blackity black organization. And on New Year's Day, he was supposed to kill the leader of the blackity black organization. Well, we know that that's still happening today. We know that we know Esau, and we know that there are chocolate covered Edomites that could easily come in here and pretend and salute him. But guess what? They're going to come in here and they are going to get convicted. And they'll get converted and become one of us, or the Lord will just get rid of them. Who cares? But regardless, nothing they can try to do can be successful if the Lord is with us. Like, that's what life on the Lord's side is like. That's why when war comes, if you're on the Lord's side, you're excited for. Oh, you mean there's glory to be had? You mean we get to conquer something and topple it over and conquer it? Let's go to war. Everybody understands? That's the spirit of the Lord. Those who are not in the spirit of the Lord, they don't want to go to war. They don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be involved in nigger shit. They don't want to be, seen. They don't want it to look like they're beefing like the gangs and the Crips and the Blood within you, nigga, you bitch made, and the Lord ain't with you. Those who the Lord is with want to go to war. Don't give a fuck what anybody think or what they see or what they feel. You think this like Crips and Bloods? Fuck you. Then, if you don't understand the Crips and the Bloods, then you won't get it. We understand the Crips and the Bloods. They have the warrior spirit of the Lord, but they don't have the knowledge of God. There's scriptures in the Bible that say, my people have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. That young man that wants to bang for his set and rep his hood and kill for his block, he got a good warrior spirit. He just ain't got the knowledge that he needs. He just doesn't have the guidance and the leadership to show him where to place that zeal. So he places it in the streets. But you know who we blame for that? The Christians and the Muslims and the spiritual people, because they are not teaching them the right way. Well, what are we going to kill the warrior spirit in our people? We're going to tell the gangsters that they shouldn't be ready to kill, ready to die for what they believe in? Hell no, that spirit comes from God. What would a nation be if they're a nation of peace lovers? or a nation of we're only strong when we're bigger in numbers. What kind of pussies are you? What kind of bitch made niggas are you? The Lord is not with you. How do we know? Because the Lord is with them that have no power, them that are few in number. Everybody understands. Let's drop that. So we showed you how, you understand, Saul, the Lord was not with Saul. Everybody understands. Let's drop that. Let's go ahead and get I'm gonna get to Gideon. When the Lord sent Gideon and his men out to go to war, and there was but a few of them. Go ahead.
The spirit, the evil spirit that came from the river. Okay, the scripts say, none can be delivered out of his hand. So if I want to put spirit on you, I can do that. We can't like do anything to avoid that though, or it's just like I don't know if I'm asking this right. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever spirit the Most High give you, if he want to put an evil spirit on you, we can't do
the truth. The truth is how we fight that spirit. That spirit can be fought, but it takes the truth. Doesn't mean you'll win that person, but you'll win the battle with that spirit. Same thing, like I said, for the gangsters in the streets. They have an evil spirit towards their brothers because the gangsters, the Crips and the Bloods will kill each other, but they will absolutely be scared of the police. So that warrior spirit is not from the Lord. It ain't, that's what I'm saying. It's not a righteous warrior spirit. It's a warrior spirit, but it's one that's fueled by Satan. It's fueled by sin, fueled by evil. You understand? But you can absolutely conquer that evil spirit by teaching a brother the truth. Teaching him his anger and his hatred is misplaced. He really should be focusing on his oppressor and recognizing who caused him to be in this condition. You understand what I'm saying? But if a brother won't hear the truth, then the Lord makes him suffer to be an example to other people that spirit is the wrong one to be in. You understand what I'm saying? So there are some spirits. There are no spirits that are more powerful than the truth, but it depends on the person if they are willing to fight that spirit. You know what I'm saying? Some people love that gangster life. They love the, fighting and beefing and wanting to shoot a nigga or ready to shoot a nigga. They don't want to give that up. And for them, the Lord got to deal with them. You understand what I'm saying? The only thing that can sway them is the truth or the Lord dealing with them, which means they get shot, they go to jail, they get robbed. Something happens to make them say, I ain't really built for this. Then the demon leave. Now they can be rebuilt. You understand what I'm saying? But it takes something like that. All right. Drop that. Let me get anybody know where Gideon and the men drank the water? Give me 1 second. Hold up. Hold on. All right. Okay. This is Judges chapter 7. This is so gangster right here. All right, this is Judges chapter. This is another thing. This is another way the Lord draws a line. Everybody understands, and how he chooses whose side he is on in the midst of battles. Understand, every battle, every war, every fight, the Lord wants to get the credit. These conflicts don't arise for no reason. These conflicts are arisen for the Lord's spirit to be shown to the people. Everybody understands. The Lord wants it to be known in Israel who he's with. He wants it to be known who can't be defeated, who can't be overthrown, who can't be conquered. And one of the ways that he does it is by being with those who are fewer in number. Everybody understands. Judges chapter 7, verse 2. And the Most High said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, my own hand have saved me. Meaning what? The Lord can't send too many men to go out to battle, because he doesn't want it to be said that because we had so many, we won the battle. The Lord is against strength in numbers. That's opposite of the spirit of the Lord. To have strength in numbers, to gang up on somebody, to jump somebody, goes against the spirit of the Lord. Everybody understands? The Lord said, I don't want the niggas with many numbers to win because they might think they won because of something they did. No, that's not how I'm going to give these men the victory. Verse 3, now therefore go to, proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. Anybody that's afraid, brother, if you unsure, I know you got that fine woman at home, you want to go lay with your wife. I know you want to wake up tomorrow and breathe the fresh air and feel the sunshine on your skin. It's okay, brother. You can leave. Go back. Okay? If you got anything you living for, you're not ready to die, please turn back. Everybody understands? And there returned of the people 22,000. 22,000 niggas said, yeah, B, I'm trying to wake up tomorrow, man. Hey, Lord be with y'all. Y'all just shut broke a thumb. I'm heading back. Them 22,000 went home. And guess what? No sweat. Ain't nobody mad at y'all. We glad y'all went back. Because we only want going into this battle the men who are ready to die. Who? Listen, this is spiritual. We sang a song that is the Lord's song. We want no cowards in our camp who will let their colors fly. We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die. That's from the Lord. Everybody understands. Verse 4. End of verse 3 of Judges 7. And there remained 10,000. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Bring them down unto the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, the same shall not go. So the Lord said, I'm going to try you. You're going to take these men down to the water. And I'm going to show you who I want you to take and who I want you to tell to turn back. Everybody understands? There are always ways the Lord sifts through men to find out those who he are his choice few. Everybody understands? One of the ways we do this in the ISUPK is through Hebrew Academy. Not everybody goes through Hebrew Academy. Not everybody makes it through Hebrew Academy. Hebrew Academy is a way of withering down our ranks to make sure there are fewer men who we can identify as truly ready to fight on the Lord's side. Everybody understands? But this is how it was determined during the days of Gideon fighting with men at Mount Gilead, all right? Verse 5, Judges 7 and 5. So he brought down the people unto the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. So what is the distinction? Verse 5, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue as a dog lappeth, him shall he set by himself. What does it mean to lap of the water like a dog? Sis?
Like you literally put your face in the water to drink.
No, that's not what it is. Sis?
This is like out of like a bowl, like how you like tongue in the bowl, like just kind of lapping it up, you know.
These are all warriors, all soldiers, right? They bring them down to the water to eat, to drink water out the river. The soldiers would stoop down and scoop the water in their hands and drink like this, watching. You understand? The men who are not so aware get down on their knees and put their face in the water. Everybody that put their face in the water, send them niggas home. But the men that drink like this, slapping like a dog, Those are the men I want to go fight. You understand? A dog is already on the ground. So he's lapping like him is licking his tongue in the water. Somebody who drinks like a person puts their mouth in the water and sucks the water in. That's the difference. To get close enough to the water to suck it in, you got to be on your knees, hands and knees, head down in the goddamn water. Fight break out, you dead, nigga. Your face is in the water. The men, the soldiers, scoop the water in their hands and drinking the water aware. Everybody understands? That's how the Lord decided who was going to go fight on Mount Gilead. Because he wanted so few men that when they won, it was obvious the Lord was with them. Also, though, these men want no bitches. Because what would make you think to not get down on your hands and knees and drink out the river? I guess a certain spirit on a man that has him aware at all times. I imagine the men that knew to scoop the water. Okay, not even them that knew. That's a spirit. There was a spirit in the men who scooped the water and drank that was not in the men that got down on their knees. There was something in them that was different. Something more, something stronger, something more powerful, something more glorious was inside the men who knew to scoop the water and drink versus the men who got down on their knees and put their face in the water. The Lord wanted the men who had that thing where they knew, I'm not getting on my knees to drink no water. I'm not getting on my knees for shit. You understand? What's the song the brother got? I stand and pray to my God. I don't get on my knees. Like, that's the spirit. And the Lord wanted the men who had the spirit to never be on their knees. Everybody understand? Now, the 22,000 men that went back home, they wasn't bitches. They just wasn't like these niggas. The niggas who got on their knees to drink wasn't bitches. They just wasn't these niggas. But they all necessary. And the Lord with them all. But he really wants on the front line, the niggas who, I'm not that, Salakia. I remember the first time I heard this broke down, before that, I wasn't the scoop the water nigga. I absolutely get on my knees and drink out the river. I don't know what the hell y'all niggas talking about. Y'all tripping. I'm trying to get as much water as I can. I'm not drinking out these dirty hands. Y'all niggas are wilding. But after this class, I'm the scoop the water nigga now. I'm one of them. But the Lord got to be with you. It ain't natural. It don't just for some men it don't come natural. For some men it got to be taught. I absolutely had to be taught to be a scoop the water nigga. I don't even know what the hell that's about. I'm drinking on my knees, looking up at them like, this water, nigga, this water. Wrong with y'all niggas? Y'all tripping. Then later on, they get to say, all right, hey, brothers, y'all leave. And I'm like, man, why they send us home? I'm ready to fight. No, you was not, Sock. You was on your knees, nigga, facing the water. So like it, Sean.
Probably like a month ago, he was like, "Yeah, them niggas thirsty. Send them home.
Send them home. They
real thirsty. They on the ground. Send them home. Like that's crazy.
First time I heard this broken down, I was in the class cut like, oh shit. I'm definitely getting on my knees drinking the water, nigga. That shit crazy. Now I can't get on my knees for nothing now. They got a damn thing. Everybody understands. This was a test the Lord chose. Again, the Lord drew a line. He wanted to see who was ready for the battle. Everybody understands. All right, verse 6. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300. But all the rest of the people bowed upon their knees to drink water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand. And let all the other people go, every man into his place. So the people took victuals in their hand and their trumpets, and he sent all the rest of Israel, every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men, and the host of Midian was beneath him in the valley. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Arise, get thee down unto the host, for I have delivered it into thine hand. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with Purah thy servant down to the host. And thou shalt hear what they say, and afterward shall thine hands be strengthened to go down unto the host. Then went he down with Purah his servant unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east lay along in the valley like grasshoppers for multitude. And their camels were without number as the sand by the seaside for multitude. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, Behold, I dreamed a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it that it fell, and overturned it that the tent lay long. And his fellow answered and said, There is nothing else save the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel, for into his hand has the Most High delivered Midian and all the hosts. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned into the host of Israel and said, Arise, for the Most High has delivered into your hand the host of Midian. And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and he put a trumpet in every man's hand with empty pitchers and lamps within the pitchers. And he said unto them, Look on me, and do likewise. And behold, when I come to the outside of the camp, it shall be that, as I do, so shall ye do. When I blow with the trumpet, I and all that are with me, then blow ye the trumpets also on every side of all the camp, and say, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. So Gideon with 300 men that were with him came unto the outside of the camp at the beginning of the middle watch, and they had but newly set the watch. And they blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers that were in their hands. And the 3 companies blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hands and the trumpets in their right hands to blow withal. And they cried, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp, and all the host ran and cried and fled. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and the Lord set every man's sword against his fellow, even throughout all the hosts. And the host fled to Beth-shittah and Zererath, and to the border of Abel-Meholah unto Tabbath. And the men of Israel gathered themselves together out of Naphtali, and out of Asher, and out of all Manasseh, and pursued after the Midianites. And Gideon sent messengers throughout all Mount Ephraim, saying, Come down against the Midianites, and take before them the waters of Beth-barah and Jordan. Then all the men of Ephraim gathered together, and took the waters unto Beth-barah and Jordan. And they took 2 princes of the Midianites, Oreb and Zeeb, and they slew Oreb upon the rock Oreb, and Zeeb they slew at the winepress of Zeeb, and pursued Midian, and brought the heads of Oreb and Zeeb to Gideon on the other side of Jordan. Everybody understands? So the Lord was with Gideon and those brothers, and had brought that entire conflict with those Midianites, so that he could get the glory with being with so few. Everybody understands? The Lord is in all conflict. He's in all warfare. He's in all disputes that happen amongst Israel. It's always been so from the beginning, and it is so now in this time that we're living in. So going forward tomorrow night, if depending on what General Hyman's class is going to be, we may have part 2 tomorrow, or I may continue this breakdown on Tuesday. And with that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. In the year 2023, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to find out the truth of who we are, where we come from, what our purpose is here on the earth. Again, the topic of the class tonight was the Most High draws the line, educating brothers and sisters on the history of our nation and the source of all conflicts and all battles for power and authority among the 12 tribes. It has always been and always will be the spirit of the Lord that seeks to separate those who serve the Lord from those who are perpetrators. With that, Shalom, Israel. Salak.